Yo, what's going on, everybody? So I know it's been a while. It's been like 4 months. But I'm back a little bit. It's been a lot going on. I've been trying to get ready for college. I've been trying to live life. I started working. Your boy's employed, sadly. But I'm back. I'm gonna try to record 10 videos before I leave. That's in like 4 weeks. So what is that, like 2 videos a week? I could do that. We'll see. But anyway, I'm going back to my roots for the story time. I know some of y'all miss this. I recorded one story time and then stopped doing it. But this summer's been kind of crazy. I can't even lie. I can't drop all the story times right now because it's still people that I know that are in these stories. But y'all best believe when I drop videos in college, I'm finna start telling all they business. Okay. But the first story time is just gonna be a compilation of work stories. Okay. So for those of y'all who know me, y'all know where I work. For those of y'all who don't, I live. Oh my God, I do not live at work. I work at like an ice cream parlor. So I work on a truck. It's like a stationary truck though. So it's basically like your average like ice cream store, like Cold Stone or something like that, Ben and Jerry's. But we get a lot of odd people that come to the truck because the truck is in such like a popular location. It's by an aquarium and two museums. So this first story is about probably the rudest customer that I've ever had, genuinely. So the day that I was working, there were a bunch of people that got like free ice cream coupons just for like being a part of this program, right? And so we didn't have a button in the machine to to put their order in. So it's like they come up to the truck and be like, can I get 2 scoops of chocolate? But we can't put that in, so we have to drop everything and make their ice cream because they get like special attention or something like that because they got a free ice cream coupon. Boo. So we're making their orders, and the issue is that like there are people who are making their ice cream. Somebody comes up with a coupon. We have to basically get their ice cream out as fast as we can and then stop everybody else's so that we can make their order so that we don't forget it. So this one dude came in at like the worst time. Like we took his order and then immediately after 4 people with the free ice cream coupons came up. So it wasn't even like we could like make his order. So we take his order and I will never forget what he had. He had 1 scoop of birthday cake and 1 scoop of Superman ice cream. This dude was so mad that we didn't give him his ice cream off rip. So let me set the scene, right? I'm gonna paint the picture, right? Get my paintbrush out. They call me Bob Ross. I'm on the truck. I'm not taking orders, but I'm next to the person who's taking orders. Dude comes up to the truck with his son, already mad. He's like, "What do you want? What do you want? What are you getting?" His son is like, "Can I get a scoop of birthday cake?" And he's like, "And I'll get the Superman." So we're like, "All right, that'll be whatever, yada yada yada." Immediately after, 4 girls come up with the ice cream coupons. So we're already like, we're not even gonna make his ice cream yet because we're just gonna get right on theirs. Like that's the most efficient thing to do. And before y'all come up in my comments talking about, "Oh, well, why didn't you just make his ice cream and then get it to him as fast as he can while they were taking his order?" It don't work like that because we had orders stacked up before that. So jokes on y'all. Anyway, I digress. He's getting his ice cream after we made theirs. So they basically got 8 scoops of ice cream because each of them got 2. We give them their ice cream. And as we're about to give him his ice cream, like we literally have it sitting in the cup on the counter, he goes, "I didn't know my order was so difficult to make." That immediately like just put me on edge because I'm sitting there and I'm like, "You're trying to insult me right now. Like I know this. I've played these games before. I know the type of man that you are." So I go, "Well, it's not that your order's difficult, sir. It's just that we have so many orders, and the issue is that we have to take their order first before we can make anybody else's, since we don't have a way of inputting it into the system. So it's easier for us to forget their ice cream, you know, being the goated customer service rep that I am. And he goes, well, if it's that difficult, maybe you shouldn't be working here because you clearly can't handle a real job. Excuse me? I am out here doing the Lord's work. I am out here doing God's work. I am out here putting in the effort that no one else will put in. I am the shift lead of this truck right here. You have a complaint, you come to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not the shift lead of the truck, actually. But that's neither here nor there. I'm putting in this effort. This is a real man's job right here. Do you know how hard it is to scoop ice cream for 6 hours a day? The forearm strength it takes is impeccable. I have like Sam Sulik forearms.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia. Oh, hell no. That's hell no. Whoa.
So I just let him have it, you know, because who am I to argue with a man who's never scooped ice cream a day in his life? He doesn't know what it's like to put his hand on my scooper. Pause. So I just let him have it. So I give him his son's ice cream because that's the one that came up first. And I'm holding up his scoop, the sloppiest scoop of Superman ice cream that I've ever made in my entire life, because I was not going to give this man this perfect ball of ice cream with a decent amount in the cup. There was still, like, you could see the bottom of the cup because that's how disappointed I was in him. But, you know, I didn't want to put him out like that. So I'm holding his cup, making sure that it's his, because somebody else got Superman and I didn't want to accidentally give them his ice cream because we have to take the orders in order. He goes, "Yep, that's mine. You can leave it right fucking here." Leave it right where? Pardon me, I usually don't have an affinity for cursing. But leave it where? You know, like, you're going to tell me where to put my ice cream? So now I'm a bit on edge. And so I put the ice cream down and he goes off the second I put the ice cream on the table. Like, I'm not even kidding. He goes, "You guys are just so effing slow. If you picked up the pace, you wouldn't have to figure out how to take their order because you would already know how. It would just make sense." This said, like, he's literally going off. He sat there and yelled at us for 5 minutes. The whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, please jump at me so I could jump out this truck and put paws on you. In a reference to my first video, I was talking about Tiger Strike and my karate. I've upgraded to jiu-jitsu now. I was ready to roll a Baron Bolo on him and put him in a skull crusher, you know, a neck crank. I was eager because he was just being so disrespectful. But again, I just let him have it. I just said, "I'm sorry about the inconvenience, sir." And I guess that made him more angry that I apologized, because he was like, "What are you apologizing for? Don't apologize. Just be smarter, because you guys obviously can't handle working." And so now I'm a little hurt because I'm like, bro, I've been working here for like a month now. You know, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. You're the only person that's like complained about me. And so I just let him have it. But I was just super disappointed in him because he was just so rude. You know, it kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. And I'm looking at the time right now and I see I'm at 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Yes, I watched that. So I'm going to tell y'all one more quick story and then I'm going to go. I was at work one day again, because, you know, I'm a hardworking man. And at the truck that I work at, we have 3 sizes for specific types of ice cream called Slice Creations. This is giving away where I work. I don't even care. But the Slice Creations are like layers of ice cream, and we kind of cut the ice cream. So this lady came up, and the 3 variations, just for reference, are baby, small, and large. Babies don't get sliced, they get scooped, because we can't make ice cream. We don't have a slicer that small because it won't fit on a cone properly. So the babies get scooped and everything else gets sliced. This lady asks for a baby rainbow. I just gave away where I work. I work at Rainbow Cone. But but this lady asked for a baby rainbow. And I warned her, like I warned basically everybody else, the baby rainbow will not come cut. It will come scooped, because we don't have a scooper small enough to put it on the cone without it fitting in proportion to the cone the way that it should. And she was like, okay, that's completely fine. I don't know if she had a wave of amnesia hit her the second that she walked away from the truck, but the moment that she walked away from the truck, it was like she lost every single brain cell, because I gave her her ice cream and she was like, this is awful. And I said, excuse me? And she was like, this is the worst thing that I've ever seen. I've been to rainbow cones all across the country, and I've never seen an ice cream look this bad. Mind you, rainbow cone is only in the Midwest, if that. I think it's just in Illinois. So it's like, what are you talking about? I think it's a Chicago classic, honestly. So what could you possibly be talking about? You've been to rainbow country all across the country. No, you haven't. That's how I knew she was lying. And so she's talking like she's a rainbow cone connoisseur. She's the rainbow cone ruffian, and she's just like insulting the scoop. And it was a good scoop too. That's what hurt the most. It was a perfect size for a baby cone. Like, it looked like your stereotypical vanilla cone, like with the little like tuft around the edge, and like it's a perfect ball. Like, it was right there. I was like, I put so much pride and effort into that because she was the first lady to come up to the truck that I was working with, and she insults me off for it. And so I was like, well, ma'am, I told you the scoop, like the slice creation is going to be scooped because you asked for a baby. If you had gotten a small, we can change it. Like, we can change it. We can even, I'll even ring you up for a small, and then I'll void, or no, I told her that I would ring her up for the baby, like she could keep the baby, and that we would just make her a small. And she was like, no, don't worry about it. I don't want you to put yourself through that much mental strain. I was just like, what? Like, why? What are you talking about? That much mental strain? You're the only one that's mentally straining here. You and all 4 of your brain cells are trying to merge a single thought right here. It's just putting so much effort that you can barely form a sentence. And she was just so mean. So I always end with a moral. Moral of the story is, if you come get ice cream, be patient and listen to the instructions that you were given, because I definitely told that lady that it would absolutely be scooped, not sliced, and she heard me and confirmed it, and then immediately disregarded me. So, you know, always pay attention to your servers. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I don't have my camera on because I did something in my hair and it's not completely done, and I didn't want to sit here with no headset on. But 5 likes and I'll do a dedicated hair reveal video. It'll just be like a 30-second video of me showing off my hair. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. I'm probably gonna do another story time. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.